If you have a website, how does that operate? Right? I mean, we're going through all these conversations ourselves too, Garrett. I mean, just simply like when you write an email, do you have a process so your clients know when they're going to hear from you, like doing customer service calls every week? Or is it, like, I don't know when my client's gonna hear from me. Our industry is notorious for adding friction.
Welcome back to 10 Tenths, where we coach real estate agents out of burnout into high-producing businesses that fuel their lives. I got my friend Matt Benelli with me. We are going to have a great episode for you today because we are going to talk about friction in business and all the binding points that make business not only uncomfortable for your clients, but uncomfortable for you. And what are we supposed to do with this, Matt? How do we fix this? And how do we get ahead of it? And that's some fun today, man. So yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, man. I'm excited to talk about this. And it all came out of our book of the month for April, which is Fans First by Jesse Cole. We loved this book and we did a book review, which actually sits inside our Inside Track membership. So our Inside Track membership has all the recordings from our book reviews. We broadcast them for free inside our app. So if you haven't downloaded our app, do that. And for our Inside Track members, we have all of the book reviews published. We have all of the recordings from the When the Morning published. We have daily prompts that go on there. It's a great place to be. Like if your guy's like, man, is there anything more I can get out of this podcast? Yes, there is. It's in the Inside Track. And you don't have to step up to the 11 Circle and group coaching to have that. So go check it out at 10tenths.co. But Garrett, this book, man, so good.
Well, I talked right over you when you said the title. So say the title again, just so we know everybody's got it.
Fans First by Jesse Cole. This is the book. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding it up. And Jesse Cole is the founder and owner of the Savannah Bananas. So if anybody's heard of that ball club, you'll probably instantly know, oh, okay, yeah. But great book. This specific thing, though, Garrett, that we're going to talk about, he talks about in this book about eliminating friction is one of the best ways to create more fans. And we agree, and we've talked about this in our group coaching and one-on-one coaching. We talk about this with our clients of like, hey, how do we reduce this? But this gave a different perspective on it that we're going to chat about today.
Yeah, I think in real estate in general, there are so many opportunities where things come up where it's just, there's friction. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't run smooth. There are high stress situations that come up where it's like, how could we handle that in a way? Like, does it have to be that high stress? For example, Matt, like let's throw in like people that like really love doing pre-listing interviews to ones, not pre-listing interviews. Whoa, back up. Pre-home inspections. I got all kinds of terms roaming around my head. Pre-home inspections to the ones that are going like, well, we'll just wait and see what happens with this listing until like the buyer decides to do their inspection and hopefully everything's okay. Like these are one of those moments that's like, if you want to, you can get ahead of a friction point and get your clients set up. And so we don't need to go down that path all the way here right now. But Matt, those are the things that I think we need to start taking a look at is like, what are the moments in this business that, whether it's, getting them to go get pre-approved by a lender and getting them to cross that threshold, getting them to write an offer on when you got first time home buyers that are just nervous as all can be about putting pen to paper. And do you still do that anymore? Maybe not pen to paper, but making sure that we get an offer actually written and out the door so that they're comfortable in doing it. There's a lot of stressors that can come up in a real estate transaction. And this book, where it really got us thinking is like, how can you figure that out? In his world, he has people that go and be kind of like, secret customers. And they show up and they're hiding behind the scenes. They're going to go through like a regular customer, getting all the experiences from everything from parking to going and getting a hot dog. And in all these spots, like where are the spots that you're going like, that was slightly uncomfortable. Like it didn't work as smoothly as it could have been. It's a little harder to do that in real estate. And Matt, you brought up when we were doing the book review, I think it's one of the golden gifts is when a real estate agent actually goes and buys real estate themselves or sells real estate and has to use another agent. And they're like, oh, like I forgot how bad this is. And sometimes those are your moments when you really get to learn a lot about the process.
Yeah. That is it. I don't know. I mean, every agent that I talk to, and I say every, I'm being, maybe I shouldn't say every. Some are like, I love moving. It's great. Like packing up and doing all these things is the best thing ever, right? But most agents, they're like, I forgot how hard this is. I forgot how stressful this is. A lot of times when we coach agents, Garrett, if they're doing a move, I see their business dip during that time frame. Their business takes it because they're like, well, I'm doing all these things. Now, a lot of that is because they're going to do it all themselves, right? But maybe they're doing it themselves because their own process that they would deliver to somebody else also involves somebody doing it themselves. And understanding this customer journey and putting yourself in your client's shoes, whether it's listing or buying, and really understanding what it is. I mean, I know we do the flow charts. I love a good flow chart, and we kind of map it out and say, oh yeah, these are the stages of the journey, but actually go and live it in a way. Now, hard to replicate, as you said. You can't like just go like, you know what? I'm just going to sell my house. See what it's like. Let's go try it. Right. But you can go through some of the steps.
I'm going to shadow you and your clients, Matt, for the entire transaction. Don't worry. It won't be weird. I want to see how all this works. That doesn't work very easily.
But maybe you could at least shadow some of your partners maybe every now and then. I mean, one of the things that they also do that Jesse talked about in the book is everybody in the company goes or at least everybody in the front office, I believe, goes and performs every other job at the stadium throughout the year, right? So that they all know what it's like to be a parking attendant, to be a concession stand person, to be over here in the merchandising department. And a lot of people in real estate will say like, well, I got to do it all myself so I can learn. And I get that, but you can also just go experience. Like, have you ever gone and sat with your lender while they're like going through that process? Have you ever gone and, and really like talk to your home inspector about what it's like going through that? Or gone with a moving company, your moving partner, and it's been like, hey, let's go and see what this is like. You may or may not have time to do that. And I'm not suggesting that's what you need to do. But if you just start thinking about these things in that way, Garrett, I think it starts to open up the mindset of, okay, let's see what these customers are experiencing, these clients are experiencing, so that we can better understand where is the friction for them. Because so often we just look for where is the friction for me, the agent, but let's look where the friction is for the client.
I was thinking back to when I was actively selling, and one of the things that we used to offer was a premium charge. Like if you listed your home with me, there was a upper tier level that we would offer, more services, more things that we charged for. It costs more to go get this. And I remember one of the pieces that we decided to offer was a house cleaning, having professional cleaners come in before the home went on the market. But the one that got people, the one that were like, you're hired, like we got you, like, come on, you're going to be our listing agent, was having the house professionally cleaned as they were moving out. And, we would let them know, like, this isn't about leaving crap and boxes everywhere. Like the big stuff's got to be out. But just so we're clear, the new homeowner is going to hire a professional cleaner no matter what. We're going to try to get ahead of it because you're going to clean your house cleaner than you ever cleaned it when you lived in it, because you don't want the new owners thinking you're a slob. So it's like, we're going to go through and really deep clean this for you. I've got a whole crew that's going to come through. And I remember like, that was one of the things that people would look at me and just go, thank you. Like that takes so much stress off our plate in that moment that we're leaving. Now, we did have to set the stage pretty good because I did have somebody who just left so much crap in the house. And they were like, what, you have your cleaners coming through? I don't have the trash people coming through. Like I have cleaners coming through is what I have. And so you do need to be ahead of that. But Sarah and I acknowledged that in all the moves that we had done, and we've moved a lot in our lifetime, that is hands down the worst part of moving is this house that I don't even want to live in anymore. And now I'm scrubbing baseboards. Now all of a sudden where that couch was pushed up against the wall, even though we had it clean to sell, there's things behind things that haven't been addressed in a while. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got to really do a deep one on there. So
which if you're a moving company, what a great opportunity for an add-on right there. Like, hey, not only are we going to help you pack and move, but then we also have our cleaning crew come in right after us and take care of everything.
What an interesting idea.
Yeah, very interesting idea.
These are all these pain points, and there's so many more of them. And that's the thing. It's like when you can find those little ones to alleviate that little stressor of there, And that's why I brought up the pre-home inspection, Matt.
Yeah.
I learned very long time ago, the highest high of a transaction is actually writing a contract and getting it accepted. And we're like, they accepted our offer. Oh my gosh, we get a home. We're going to do this.
Even more exciting than closing day, hands down.
Followed by the lowest low, which was going through the inspection report and the addendum that was then set across to all the fixes and repairs that needed to be done to that house. That was just hell. Like that we've all done it. We've all been there where we're just hoping, and then it comes back and it's like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean there's a crack in the foundation? What do you mean it needs a new roof? What do you mean that the tiles are falling off the pool out there? That all this stuff you can get ahead of. You can eliminate these things. That's the power of this.
Yeah, you got to go through and you see from everybody's perspective, and it even is the little things, Garrett, too, like up front of how do people even communicate with you, right? How does your website, if you have a website, how does that operate? Right. I mean, we're going through all these conversations ourselves too, Garrett. I mean, just simply like when you write an email, do you have a process so your clients know when they're going to hear from you, like doing customer service calls every week? Or is it, like, I don't know when my client's going to hear from me. Our industry is notorious for adding friction, I think, Garrett. And sometimes it's necessary. Let's take the buyer agency agreement, for example. I'm a big fan of buyer agency agreements, but talk about a major addition of friction to the process for what consumers have long thought. I just call up somebody, I go see a house. Now I call up somebody, I got to have this whole conversation about agency. They want me to sign this agreement. I don't really know what it is. Is it exclusive? Is it non-exclusive? Is it for this house? Why does it have to go for 6 months to a year? Am I bound to this person? It's like, whoa. We just created a ton of friction before seeing a house. Now, it's there. I get why it's there. I am a fan of buyer agency agreements. So this is an opportunity to look, how do we eliminate the friction with this thing here, even though we know that this is part of it. So relating it to this book too, ticket sales. You got to buy a ticket to go see the game. How do we remove the friction there? Oh, let's make it as easy as possible. And let's make it all inclusive as well, so that there's no like nickel and diming that's going on afterwards. It's how do we even just look at the onboarding process of a client coming into us? What is the friction that exists there? What are the things that are necessary? And how do we make them as easy as possible so that now it's a lot smoother for that client to go through this process? And these are things that I don't think we often look at, Garrett. We just say, oh, no, that's just the way it is.
And that's what I was going to say. We get into this place of, well, but that's just how real estate is. These are all the moving parts of real estate. This is just how it has to be done. It's like, but does it really have to happen that way? Because even with customer service calls, I just had somebody I was coaching the other day and they were like, yeah, I try to do them. I don't really get how they help my business and things like that. I mean, I'm talking with these people all the time. And I had to have the conversation of like, well, the beauty of a structured customer service call, and let's just say, let's keep the structure just down to, Matt, you're going to hear from me every Tuesday between this time and this time, between 10 and 12 o'clock, we're going to talk. Just be aware. As of that right there, the friction that's removed is this person now knows they're going to hear from me every single week at that time. And what they do is they go, when they're having their conversations in their house, the two sellers, whatever it might be, what happens is all of a sudden they go, when we talk to Matt, when we talk to Garrett on Tuesday, we need to make sure that we ask them this question. If there is no set time and there is no customer service call taking place, all of a sudden they're like, I have a question. And they pick up the phone and they call. And you're in the middle of watching your kids play t-ball. And you're like, I don't have time to answer this right now. Or worse, we're like, I'm going to leave the stands for a little bit while my son's getting up to hit. And I'm going to go take this call in the parking lot. And we're like, gosh, this business is always just taking me away. And I'm always on call. And I hate this and it's not fun anymore. These are friction points. You can get ahead of them. You can fix them with customer service calls. And a lot of people don't realize it because they might try something, but they didn't set it up right. And some of these pieces in here will change your business. It will change your interactions with your clients and give you, again, you eliminate friction. You're more referable. You're in a better mood. Family loves you more. Kids love you more. They get to look up in the stands like, there's dad, there's mom, they're here, they're present. This is awesome. There's these opportunities that we get to have that we just need to find those points and fix them. And you, Matt, you mentioned there's the client side. Some of this stuff is internal. Lee Eckroth is one of the best I ever saw at getting ahead of this. He was having a hell of a time in their marketplace, scheduling photography, scheduling inspectors, scheduling contractors to come and work. His solution, threw him a party. Threw him a party. Bring all your family, bring your kids. We're going to barbecue. We're going to play rounds of golf. We're going to have all kinds of fun. And he left that party and he's like, you know what? Those guys will now cancel other appointments on their calendar to make sure I get taken care of. That was a friction point for him that he's like, solved, got that one done. And we need to take those opportunities.
I mean, that's a great example too. Like, it's like, oh, sometimes solving the friction point may not be addressing that thing right there. It's something else around it. But you also brought up another major friction point that we overlook all the time, which is us, the individual, the agent, right? Like, we are the friction point. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. Like, of course we want to be there for our people, but if you're in the stands and your client's calling you, even if you got the customer service calls, why are they calling you? Why do they have to call you right then? Like, is there a way to eliminate that friction point by having, you know, a different number or something, or more education up front that allows them to go to some FAQ? I mean, I also don't understand why we don't have like the Domino's pizza tracker of the transaction process, where it's like, hey, I know my pizza's in the oven. I know it's in the car being delivered. Oh no, it's not in the car being delivered anymore. Did the guy get in an accident? I don't know. Maybe, oh, it's back in the, no, I'm just kidding. But
by the way, I love that you just brought that up of like the Domino's pizza tracker of the real estate transaction. I actually have somebody who's creating that right now. Not for me. It is his own business. It is his own thing. But that simple thing, when you look at it and go, would my phone ring as much? When I have ordered a Domino's pizza, Matt, it is so cool to sit there and have my phone go bing, and you go like, ooh, it just came out of the oven. Bing, quality checking right now. Like, I know that Domino's pizza tracker all too well. And we've all ordered pizzas before there was a Domino's pizza tracker going, did they get our order? Like, are they showing up? Like, what happened? Did they deliver to the wrong house? Did they like, we've all done it.
I've run a delivery company before. I've gotten the calls of like, hey, where's my stuff? Right? Like, I've gotten those calls, and, you know, we were like, oh gosh, this is a point of friction. You know, maybe we need to add a communication point. Like, if time goes to this point, we need to call the client. Cause a lot of times it wasn't our fault. So we never thought about it. It's like, we're waiting at the restaurant for the food to be prepared to bring to somebody, and they're thinking that it's us that's taken forever. So we had a system of like, well, if it hits this amount of time from when the order comes in, or they tell us that they made the order, because a lot of it works kind of like how Uber Eats does today. You place the order at the restaurant, we went and picked it up. It was great. Then should have kept, well, anyway, after a certain amount of time, call the client, tell them that, hey, we're still working on, or we're still waiting on the order to come in, but it's on the way. That way they know. And it didn't necessarily solve the time problem, but it helped create some ease and solve a friction. And we have this opportunity up and down our businesses, Garrett, and we have to be honest with ourselves and look at them and tackle one thing at a time, you know.
Yep.
Particularly since we are such a major friction point of this, because we do a lot, right? Which is amazing and awesome. And it does bring tremendous value. So we also need to be careful that we're not dulling things down so much that the client experience then becomes boring. We still want it to be very valuable, but that's the whole thing. If it's creating friction and we can remove that and the value is still there, and we're also still being in compliance, like, I wouldn't remove the buyer agency agreement necessarily, as an example. Like, that would certainly solve some friction, but it's going to create some other problems for you in your business. But if we can figure out a way to remove some of these or adjust some things, like throwing a party for some vendors so that they pick up the phone a little bit more frequently, things like that, that all of a sudden create a way better client experience without really changing what the entire picture looks like. You know, you don't have to recreate the wheel. You're just making it better. You're putting new tires on it.
Yeah, I got two things here, but when going back to the Lee Eckroth's party that he used to do, the feedback that he got from it was the vendors would come up to him and go, "Thank you for including my family in this. They rarely get a chance to be a part of what I do and the people that I'm connecting with. And the mere fact that you brought them in and are celebrating our families as all of us together." They're like, that was the thing that really made this special. They said every once in a while we'll get like invited to an office party or something like that, where it's like, oh, we got some, foods and drinks and hang out, but they're like, our families are never involved. And they said that was the piece that pushed it over the top for them. I think also with friction, the busier you get, this is where you really need to start paying attention, because something that wasn't a friction point before, all of a sudden, one client we're working with, two clients we're working with, we can handle all these things, we can juggle it all, we're good. There's a place at which you bring on enough business that all of a sudden these friction points start to show up a little bit stronger. The trick is to see them before they become problems. It's like you got a pair of shoes on. The trick is to notice that the heel's rubbing before it turns into a massive blister and you're having to go I can't walk any farther. We're done. The trick is to go, that's friction. I can see what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen, and let's get ahead of it. I just bought a brand new pair of shoes, and it's funny. Athletic tape is my answer for you got a hot spot at the back of your heel, 3 strips of athletic tape, good to go. Those shoes will not bother you. Let them break in. But if I let it go to a blister, now I have a problem. And in your business, you want to think about it the same way. When you see the friction start to show up, how can I band-aid it right now? Figure out how to correct for it so that we can smoothly move forward before it turns into a client going, I can't believe it. We haven't heard from you in the last 2 weeks. Here we are. We're stressed. We're freaking out. We're not sure what we're supposed to be doing. And you're just nowhere to be found. It happens in real estate. I've heard that so many times. The realtors will sometimes not admit to it, but a client will say, yeah, we had a realtor and I don't know where the hell they were the entire time. I don't know what they were doing, but we had our house listed and on the market. That's frustrating to hear. And those are those friction points that if you can eliminate them, you will create raving fans. Yeah. They will tell especially when all of a sudden one of their friends goes, my damn realtor, and they go, your damn realtor, I got to introduce you to my awesome realtor. My awesome realtor won't do that to you. That's what you want. Yeah. Those are the great stories.
You do. That highlights having a process, because if you have a process, then it's easy to see, as you're getting busy, what starts to get missed. If you don't have a written process, you don't actually physically see it because there's no check boxes that are unchecked. Particularly if it's all up here. If you're like, well, I got a process. Well, if it's all in your head, you're not going to know what you're missing and what you're hitting on. Or you might know it's like, yeah, I think I did, but you're not seeing the impact of it because it's not visual. And so writing all these processes down so that you can see as you get busier, what starts to get missed, that can start to create friction. The other side of this is then you can also continually fine tune it to eliminate friction even in the improved process. Because even if you're like, I got the best process ever, fantastic. Go look at it again and see where you can continually remove friction, because as you do that, you can then not only move clients through a lot faster, they're going to have a great experience. It's going to be easier on you, unless your option to eliminate friction is, I'm just going to do more. I'm going to be the 24/7 agent. I'm going to always answer my phone. Be careful with that. I don't recommend that as a solution to friction. And some of it might be you need to grow into eliminating some of these friction points as well.
So I think when growing a business, Matt, and everybody that we work with, everybody we coach, they are building a business. They are growing. Very few people that come to us just go, I just want to stay here right now. I'm good. I just want to maintain. As this business grows, as these friction points show up, as he was building out the Savannah Bananas, there are certain places as more moving parts come in and more things are adding in, you need to build really good SOPs, standard operating procedures. If you really build this out well and you start realizing where the friction points are coming up, you can sit back and say, okay, well, what are the things that I don't like doing? There are parts of this business that I've been doing. I show up, I make it happen. But this is a place that I find myself now resisting now that I have all these things going on. in your business in real estate, you might be listening to this and going like, yeah, I've been able to produce postcards. I've been able to produce my newsletter for the last 2 years. That's now becoming a friction point as I'm getting busy and as I'm trying to do more business and help more people. If I have an SOP built around it, I can now take that and hire somebody and hand it off and be like, here, I need you to do this for me. Now you've taken that friction point out of your business. You added more time now in that you can give to the items that are going to grow your business. And then you keep doing this as you keep moving forward. You don't need to have a huge team, but that person that's working for you part-time right now that took that first SOP off your plate, now you can sit back with them and go, doing a really good job. You want this one also? Here, take that one. You keep going. And then you max them out. All of a sudden they hit their threshold and you go, you know what? I'm going to bring in another person so that we can help make sure that you're not burning out. I'm not burning out. And now they're going to take off with a little bit of these items and these activities.
Yeah.
And it just will continue to grow. But again, this is being aware of the friction and then having a plan around it. And Matt, the reason I went down this whole piece is you said, if you don't have a process, if you're winging it the entire time, you can't hand that stuff off.
Yeah.
You can't hand off a fly by the seat of my pants approach to a certain system and go, well, here's how I've kind of like willy-nilly done it for years. So there you go. Good luck with that one. Have fun. And people go, I don't understand why my assistant over here, this isn't being done right. Don't they understand how I used to do it? No, you never told them correctly. You didn't have good processes. You didn't have good procedures. And now you have a whole nother point of friction in your business right now, which is this assistant that you're pissed off over because they're not doing the right job. And that's making everything else just go through the ringer. And your business actually gets worse.
Yeah.
Like it's a wild ride. And that's where, Matt, you and I, when we read this book and we were talking about these friction points, it's like there's so many opportunities in real estate to where friction can get worse, but we can get ahead of it,
yeah,
and make a better experience for the client.
Yeah, there are. And so this is what I would just recommend to everybody is look at every point in your business that clients are engaging you, right? And just ask yourself what's wrong with this? Jesse quoted Walt Disney in the book a lot, right? And one of the things that Walt did was he would go and ride all the rides and not be like, how fun is this? He'd say, what is wrong with this? How can it be better? Even if it was already great. And sometimes you may not find something, but like as simple as, well, what's wrong with a client calling me and leaving a voicemail? Like, I don't know. What's wrong with it? Is your voicemail actually really awesome? I changed my voicemail years ago because I was like, I want a voicemail that people like. And now I don't get a lot of voicemails because people typically go to text, but I actually probably get more than the average person because people go, I love your voicemail message. And I'm like, thanks. And it creates a conversation. It eliminated some friction of like the unpleasantries of the automated, you've reached 843-555-1234. Leave a message after the tone. Long, lots of fluff. Oh, wait, mailbox full.
So it's interesting going down that line of just the inbox, Matt, because it got me thinking here. It's funny, like those are those times like you can say, okay, if I'm an outside client, one, let's go hit my website right now. How easy is it to find my phone number? How easy is it for someone to email me if they want to get a hold of me? Is this an easy shareable thing that they can take and give to somebody else that they might be maybe referring me to? When I do call that phone number, many of us don't call ourselves. And I guarantee you, some of you, if you go get another phone and call your cell phone right now, you're going to go, I don't have a voicemail. I thought I had a voicemail, but I guess when I got my new phone, it never updated my voicemail. And how long has this been going on for? That's a point of friction that you can fix about yourself by acting like the customer.
Yeah.
When you do have to listen to your voicemail, I just listened to one yesterday that I'm like, I hope I never have to call this person again because God forbid they don't pick up and I got to listen to that whole damn message again because it was long and it ended with this whole thing about, I just hope you have this amazing, I'm like, stop. Like, let me just leave a message.
The voicemail box was full and can no longer accept messages.
And then you get to the end and the mailbox is full. So again, like these are these opportunities. We have a lot that we can engage ourselves And then there's the other ones of like, watch your clients.
Yeah.
Watch your clients. And there might be things you're going like, why is my client acting all frustrated? Or why do all of a sudden do I feel like we've derailed a little bit? And you might be able to trace that back to one of your processes that maybe confused them, upset them. You know, you might see a pattern where it's like, it always happens in this part of the transaction. Let's not make that happen anymore. Let's fix that.
Yeah. And go wild with this stuff too, even down to the things that you're like, I don't think I have any control over this. Still come up with an idea, right? Maybe you can't implement it, but at least you're trying, right? Because I hear it all the time. Well, that's not my job. Like, I can't go do that. It's like, okay, well, what would it look like if you could? Or another way around it.
With AI today, Matt, you can sit down with it and go like, okay, here's this one single process out of my business, and I feel like it could be done better. Like, let's brainstorm together and find a better way that I could maybe have my voice message right now. Was a better way that I can, what would be the best auto reply I can possibly have to let my clients know that they're being taken care of and I got their message, and, you know, to get control of my time and my energy. Just brainstorm. There's so many great tools out here right now that'll help you think a little bit outside the box. You're not on your own. It's great stuff.
You're not. So let's eliminate friction, right? Because when you look at your business in this ways, you're going to build a better business. And the goal of your business is to fuel your life, not consume it. And if your business has a lot of friction points in it, it's probably consuming a lot of your life. So let's build a business that fuels. And if that feels good to you, come join us in the 11 Circle, or just come join us in the Inside Track. Go to 10tenths.co and check us out. We got the information there on how you can find us and what's good. You can click into our app as well. Just download it on Android or iPhone and join us. We do a lot of stuff in the free space. We do some stuff in the Inside Track. We do a lot of stuff in the 11 Circle. We have a free webinar in the engagement editor. We got the Excel. There's so much stuff there. It's fantastic. As always, guys, we love you guys joining us on the podcast. Keep the reviews and the comments coming as well. If you're on one of those apps that allows you to do a review, that would mean the world to us. And have a great day.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.